Hi, Mike McCulley here at the Cariboo Fire Center on September 3rd. I'm sitting in the cockpit of an Electra Airtanker with Craig Yakiwchuk, one of the pilots who flies the Airtankers. He works for Airspray Airtankers, which is a contracting company for us, one of the companies we depend on very heavily in fire season. So Craig's going to talk to us a little bit about what it's like to fly an Airtanker and how he got engaged with this profession. So Craig, how did you become involved with flying Airtankers?
Well, I had a love of flying at a very young age, and I was looking for a challenge, and here I am at Airspray, enjoying what I do and love flying every day, and glad to be helping out where we can on the fires.
Great. Could you talk a little bit about the type of aircraft we're in today, Craig?
Yeah, this is a Lockheed Electra, and it was originally a commercial airliner that was converted to a cargo machine, and we've converted it to an air tanker. It's been flying for about 20 years with Airspray.
People often get confused. They think our air tankers are all water bombers, and we know that's not true. Maybe explain to folks what type of materials this machine loads and drops on our fire.
Yeah, well, it's a misconception that people have that we actually put out fires. We help in conjunction with the ground crews, and what we do is we lay down retardant and work with a bird dog, and the bird dog identifies the targets for us to put on the ground, and it might be around a house or around some structures, or maybe saving a fire from getting too close to a highway or a radio tower or something like that. And so we work with the air tac, and he lets us know where the targets are, and yeah.
Great. So I know people see you folks flying fairly low over fires. I watch you loading here at the tanker base. Clearly there's some challenges to this type of job. What sort of safety protocols do you have in play, Craig, to ensure you get home every day? You know, our top priority is always safety of you folks, our first responders.
Absolutely, yeah. It's well, first of all, it comes with a dispatch from a ground crew. So a lot of times the guys on the ground will see some type of challenge that maybe they can't get to in time, or something that they wouldn't be able to handle with just the ground equipment. So they'll call us, and then the bird dog will go out first and assess the situation and make sure all the everybody's clear out of the ground area that we're going to drop, and we'll go by their objectives.
Great. So in this fire season that we're having, clearly a catastrophe for British Columbia, in the Cariboo particularly, very large fires, very extreme fire behavior. How is it like flying your air tanker in front of some of these rank 5 and 6 fires that we're seeing? Do you work those types of fires, or are you more focused on achievable objectives, Craig?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's tough sometimes. I think, and even a lot of my friends that live in BC are saying, well, why aren't you out here? And I know it's always safety first, and some of those big fires, sometimes the smoke will lay low and we can't even get close to the fires because of visibility is just right down. We had it quite a bit in Williams Lake where we couldn't even get out of the airport because the smoke was so dense. Just can't see, can't do our job if we can't see. So
right.
Yeah.
I watch you on my screen every day. I can see all of the air tankers moving around, and I know that you travel from one side of the province to the other in a day. Sometimes you never know where you're going to start and finish.
That's right.
What are some of the challenges with that?
It just depends on the dispatch. I know in Kamloops they kind of have everything under control as far as when they get an air tanker request. A lot of times they look at logistically which plane could get there first. We did spend some time in Abbotsford, based there for a while, and sometimes we were going as far as 300 miles because we were the only plane that wasn't in this heavy smoke situation that could get out of Abbotsford and get to the fire from another place. So a lot of times, it's up to the guys in Kamloops to control which tanker goes where. And
right. When you're dropping retardant on a fire, how many objectives can you run in a single pass, or how much retardant can you take on, roughly speaking?
Well, our payload is around close to 30,000 pounds, 12,000 liters of retardant, and it's mixed with water. It's a concentrate, and sometimes it's just we let it all out in a long line if we're building a line up against the fire, or we might have, for example, we might be trying to get around a house, putting retardant around a house. We might do 3 or 4 passes and lay the retardant around the house to slow the fire from engulfing the house.
Sure. So I know that for myself, I've been able to interview quite a few people, different pieces of the puzzle in the fire realm this year. I know that folks find it very rewarding to meet their objectives every day. Can you explain to folks a little bit about what that's like to be part of the big picture and how that feels at the end of a day?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good feeling when we do know we can cool down a fire and slow its slow it down for the ground crew so they can get in there and do their job and put it out. And sometimes, you come back the next day, see where the fire is burned right up to our retardant line, and you look down, and it makes you feel good that at least you could do something. And you can't win every one of them. I mean, those big fires like we're having this year, it's tough, and it's we do what we can, and Mother Nature still has her way with us sometimes.
Well, I know on behalf of all the folks in the Cariboo and across British Columbia, we're very lucky to have you working with us, Craig. So on behalf of those folks, thank you very much for your help. We really appreciate it.
Enjoy being here.
Thanks. Craig Yakiwchuk in an Electra Airtanker.